Bet you always wondered how a professional does it. Wait, that doesn't sound dirty, does it? Didn't mean it. Anyway. Analogies aren't just some weird exercise where you have to choose A, B, A, C, or D, and I'm doing it to make you crazy. Real professional writers use analogies all the time. How? For the second analogy exercise, rather than giving you another set of analogies to plow through with the A, B, C, D, and pick, I thought I would go for some of the more picturesque ones, some of the more literary ones, some of the more evocative ones you'd hear in the news and stories by authors, so on and so forth. So, these are some good ones. First off, Henry Kissinger in a memo to Richard Nixon about withdrawing troops from Vietnam. Withdrawal of U.S. troops will become like salted peanuts to the American public. The more troops come home, the more will be demanded. I love this one. Because salted peanuts, we all know what that is. Are you going to eat just one and walk away? It's like potato chips. Of course you can't. When you start pulling people home from a war, are you going to pull just like 10 of them and then stop? No, everyone's going to want to come home. Second one. Writing a book of poetry is like dropping a rose petal down the Grand Canyon and waiting for the echo. I feel this one very strongly because I am a published poet and I'm an artist right now doing music that doesn't really make too much impact on the world, just like dropping a rose petal down the Grand Canyon and waiting for the echo. It's never going to come. You have to have other reasons for doing this stuff other than wanting to be famous, because you're not going to be famous. If you want my final opinion on the mystery of life and all that, I can give it to you in a nutshell. The universe is like a safe to which there is a combination, but the combination is locked up inside the safe. Are you ever going to get it? T.S. Eliot, the evening is spread out against the sky like a patient etherized upon a table. T.S. Eliot, you probably read The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock somewhere, and this is what this is from. A guy getting ready to go out for the evening and try to find love. How successful is he going to be? If the evening, instead of showing endless possibilities, reminds him of a patient under anesthesia, is he going to have a fun night? Yeah. Winston Churchill has the next one, and Winston Churchill has, he really had a way with words. A good speech should be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject and short enough to create interest. I don't need to spell this out, do I? Because I might get arrested or at least lose my job if I do. Anyway, Stephen King, in the blunt way that Stephen King would say, fighting for peace is like fucking for chastity. Can you fight people to make a more peaceful world? Bill Maher. To most Christians, the Bible is like a software license. Nobody actually reads it. They just scroll to the bottom and click, I agree. Now, if you're one of the weird people who actually does read all of the software license and knows exactly what rights you've given up, then this might not apply to you, but hint, the rest of us just click the things and do our best to get on with life. Which means we don't really know what we're agreeing to. What does that have to do with most Christians in the Bible? I have a few coming up from Raymond Chandler. Raymond Chandler was a detective fiction writer back in the 30s and 40s, and his stuff is great. The Big Sleep, The Long Goodbye, he's wonderful. And what makes it good is that he just has an amazing use of language. When he makes a comparison, and it's usually one that sticks into your mind that you wouldn't expect to hear from someone. Particularly not from detective fiction, which is supposed to be just genre fiction, right? No, these are good, though. Alcohol is like love. The first kiss is magic, the second is intimate, the third is routine. After that, you take the girl's clothes off. Have you ever met an old drunk? Do they look like they're having fun? What used to enrapture them is now just boring routine. It's something they do because they can't stop doing it. Police business is a hell of a problem. It's a good deal like politics. It asks for the highest type of men, and there's nothing in it to attract the highest type of men. So we have to work with what we get. This is an interesting one. When everyone talks about Congress being paid too much and we need to limit the amount of money they make, I keep thinking, is that going to encourage people to go into Congress? I can't imagine wanting to be a politician. You have to end up being a very self-sacrificing person who just wants to make the world a better place. Otherwise, I don't know why you'd go in there, but people go in there all the time. Are they going in it for the right reasons? And the last one for this session. She looked playful and eager, but not quite sure of herself, like a new kitten in a house where they don't much care about kittens. If I close my eyes, I can just picture this person, and it ain't pretty, is it? Remember that the deeper the analogy is, the more information it's going to communicate, and sometimes you can get a real mood across an analogy that you couldn't do with normal words. That young kitten in a house where they don't like kittens all that much, ooh, I don't know how you would describe that other ways. And that's what's great about using language like this. So, use it yourself. Good luck. See you next video.